I wonder if I can ask you, Janet, you work within Scottish Government. Now, Scottish Government can sometimes feel quite remote from people working in the community across Scotland. How is your work landing in there? Is it making a difference?
I think that's a really important question, Penny, so thank you for asking it. Our work on collective leadership, our team is based within Scottish Government, but actually much of our work is happening out with Scottish Government, working with teams on real live complex issues all around Scotland, and actually sometimes in Wales and Northern Ireland and different places too. So it's actually very outward facing work. But we have been working in Scottish Government, so in a sense, it's not to completely duck your question. There has been a lot of interest and engagement. I think it's also about recognising where the places are, where there's an appetite to draw the different voices and a different approach around collective leadership. And we found that there really are some areas and some work within Scottish Government where there has been that interest. I wouldn't, at all signal that it's the approach for every piece of work. It just isn't. It's about finding where this approach can be deployed and where there's an opportunity for that to happen.
Okay, and presumably it also helps an organisation to identify perhaps an area of real blockage where under current leadership it's not going to happen. Does it get used that way?
Yes, I think so. I mean, quite often people come to us, and I guess the way our team works is to offer support where colleagues are working on their issue, as well as offering a lot of programmes and development opportunities. But very often, I guess people know they want to make a difference. I guess we probably all come to work like that, wanting to do something that's going to help, but just having no idea actually about what to do. And so some of the practices might feel quite unfamiliar or might feel, frankly, a bit weird. But actually, if you get to a point where you think, I simply don't know what to do around this, then that can be a really rich opportunity to actually try something very different.
Thank you very much. Now we've got some questions that have come in. Jenny Robinson has asked, she'd appreciate a case study. She'd like to sort of hear about lived examples as she describes them. Now, we have a limited amount of time here, so perhaps something that's in greater detail can be picked up later. I'll come back to that. But, can you sort of encapsulate very briefly, for example, how it's been used, collective leadership?
Yeah. And I guess an example that springs to mind immediately is a piece of work that our team's been supporting around sectarianism in Scotland. So I suppose illustrative of a really embedded, entrenched kind of issue, and where the work's been used to bring together a different set of voices around that issue in a different sort of way. So recognising that actually how we facilitate conversation can make a huge difference. So our intervention on collective leadership would invite in different people, policy leads, people leading the different factions, I suppose, in sectarianism, different parts of communities, different ways of seeing things, and work collectively through a process where a more inquiring conversation, different sorts of questions can be explored and create opportunities to hear different voices in different sorts of ways, such that the group can move on from perhaps having strongly held pre-existing views. And so opening up the questions, opening up the issues, and allowing different sorts of conversations to take place. And what I would say for people who are interested in more information, we do have a storybook on our website, so people can click straight in and we can send that round, as well as being totally up for conversations that people want to have. That's a way to read a bit more